Hi everyone, Habari Gani. This is my final video for my Kwanzaa special, and unlike the other videos, I am not going to be focusing on the last three principles individually. I'm actually going to combine all of them into one video. There are three principles that are left, and I personally don't have enough of a well-formed opinion to do one video per principle. So I decided to just combine them all together because they all work with one another as well. I also wanted to explain why this may be my last year celebrating Kwanzaa. I think I may celebrate it in the future after I have a family, but for now, I'm just questioning if I want to continue my tradition because I've been celebrating it for 17 years, and I'll try to explain why in this video. But before I get into all of that, I will do our libation statement, and today's libation will be in honor of those who have utilized the remaining principles of Kwanzaa, which are Nia, Kuumba, and Imani. People who have had the purpose in their life for the betterment of people of African descent, those who have used their creativity in order to move us further, and those who have had faith that their tactics would be able to work. And I have my plant over here. I say Ashe. Now, one fun part of Kwanzaa, if you're a person that likes to party, is at the very end, on the 6th day or the night before January 1st, you host a karamu, which is a great feast. And at the karamu, there is singing, there's dancing, there's food, and all sorts of things, the giving of gifts or zawadi to the children. Here's some pictures of children dancing. They're wearing African attire. They're drumming. They're having a karamu. It says, we dress in bright clothing to display the patterns and colors of Africa. We have drumming, music, and dance. We sing. We welcome as many people as we can, and we eat. And January 1st is the last day of Kwanzaa. It is a quieter time. We have a farewell ceremony for Kwanzaa. We greet the new year. And this is a little girl dressed in African attire, looking like a little princess. She is in Washington, D.C., and she's about to perform a dance for a Kwanzaa celebration. So yeah, if you're one that likes to have a fun time, you can host your own karamu. It doesn't have to be big or grand, but you could get some of your friends. You can come and talk about how you can better help the community in the year 2022, how you can better help yourself in the year 2022 by using these wonderful principles of the Nguzo Saba. Yeah. To get started, I want to read to you, as I go along, the three principles, the last three that we are celebrating. So, the first principle, which is principle number, 5, is the principle of Nia. And Nia means purpose, to make our collective vocation the building and developing of our community in order to restore our people to their traditional greatness. And the symbol for Nia is a hieroglyph from ancient Kemet, and it is Nefer or Nefer. I don't know where the stress goes, but it is an ancient Kemetic symbol of beauty and good. The sixth principle, and you would light the green candle. The sixth principle is Kuumba. And for Kuumba, you light the red candle. Kuumba means to do always, as much as we can, in the way that we can, in order to leave our community more beautiful and beneficial than we inherited it. And the symbol of it is the 7 vibrations of divine creation, the Dogon symbol of creativity. Now, if you don't know who the Dogon are, they are very, very powerful spiritual people, and they have, oh my goodness, they discovered some type of, I don't know if it was a star or some other type of celestial body about years before modern scientists found it, because the modern scientists were like, no, that doesn't exist. But the Dogon had an entire ritual surrounded, or I guess that was created around that celestial body. The next and last principle is the principle of Imani, which means faith. And it is to believe with all our hearts in our people, our parents, our teachers, our leaders, and the righteousness and victory of our struggle. And the symbol for this is the Ankh, which is a Kemetic symbol of life, or the Djed. I don't know if it's the Djed or Jed or Djed pillar, which represents stability and endurance, and serves as a symbol of steadfastness and commitment to the good, the right, and the beautiful in life. So that is the principle of Imani. Now, with each of these principles, I'm going to give my own little 2 cents about the principles. Also, examples from history of people who have used this principle, and also some ideas of how we can incorporate this into the Black community. So, Nia. Nia means purpose, and the key word of that definition is to make our collective vocation. What is a vocation? A vocation, depending on which dictionary you go to, in one definition, it would be a career, an occupation. Like, what do you do? My vocation is, I am this. I am a visual artist. That's my vocation. I'm a visual artist. I'm a writer, and I, work around natural things. That's my vocation. But in other cases, a vocation is your divine calling, your life's calling. What is the calling of your life? Some people felt that they were born to be musicians. Others felt that they were born to be a teacher. Others felt that they just had to climb Mount Everest. It really all depends. That is their divine calling. And there are people whose divine calling was so great that they actually created movements around it. But I'm not talking about, individually, what is our vocation? Collectively, as a people, what is our vocation? What is our divine calling? And do we know our divine calling? I honestly don't know. I don't. And the reason I say I don't know is because usually when somebody or a person wants something, the average person, they will take steps forward to get that goal. So for example, if somebody wanted to go visit another country, they might start learning the language of that country. They might watch videos of that country. They might get friends in that country. They'll save up money to buy a plane ticket to there. Their actions will be a reflection of where they are going. If they want to go here, they're going to go there. If they want to go north, why are they walking south? Every step towards south is a step further away from north. Go north. Go to the North Star. But what is our North Star? I don't know. I personally do not know, because I feel there is a great divide. There's some of us going this way, and there's some of us going that way. I'm sure that's okay individually, but collectively, that only causes conflict. That only causes infighting. That's why I personally feel we've gotten a lot done, but there's more we could get done if we weren't fighting all of the time, or opposing each other, or acting as if we were our own enemy. So one way that we can move forward is after we have found what our vocation is, we have to figure out what it looks like. There was a New Thought teacher. His name was Neville Goddard. He was not black, but his teacher was African. His teacher taught him the entire Kabbalah. He was a rabbi. Some say that the teacher didn't exist. His name was Abdullah. I feel like he may have existed because Neville Goddard mentions him a lot in his speeches. But Abdullah was very, very wise. He had rabbis from all over the world coming to learn from him. So I feel that Neville Goddard got this technique called living in the end from Abdullah, since that was his teacher. What happens when you are living in the end? When you are living in the end, you are already there. If we were already in our vocation, what would that look like? Would it be luxury houses? Would it be our own stores, shops, and other businesses on every single block? Would it be an end to gang violence and an end to crime in our communities? Would it be this feeling of perpetual safety and trustworthiness among our brothers and sisters? What would it look like? What would it feel like? What would it sound like? Would it sound like gunshots? Would it sound like cash registers? Which one would it sound like? It's all up to you. But if we have our vision scattered over here and scattered over there, how can we have a collective vocation and move unanimously or collectively towards a certain end that is beneficial for all of us? How do we prepare for these things? Sometimes when, for example, let's say you are a person that wants to lose weight. You want to lose weight. There's certain things that you have to cut off and certain things that you have to add. It's a whole give and take. There's certain things you have to cut off in order to lose weight, and there's other things that you have to add. You could cut off bad processed foods, and you can replace them with healthy, nourishing foods. You can cut off time sat in front of the television, or reduce whatever medication you're on that's hurting your body and adding to the weight. Or you could add, like, what did I say? Yeah, you could add like more time for exercise instead of just sitting there, or be like, I'm too tired. You could go for a walk. You could take a dance class. There's so many alternatives that you could do. You can change up your schedule. Might go jogging in the morning, might go jogging in the evening. There's all of these little things that you can implement in your life to get you towards your goal. It's called I would say the Kaizen method. We could use the Kaizen method. Even though that's a Japanese method, they say, I feel like it's just a universal method. It is taking little steps to meet the end goal. Little, minute steps to meet a goal that is grand. So one way I feel that we can move forward in Nia and our purpose is we have to get doubters out of our way. Not somebody that is actually thinking critically. Like, you have some people that just see things for what they are. They're, realists. I'm not talking about those type of people. I'm talking about people that are doubting. They're just doubting and doubting and downing any type of room for new thoughts to come in. They're blocking any type of or form of expansion. We need to get those people out because they're clouding our vision. Some of them will actually come in and just be a monkey wrench just to throw you off of your vision if they see you're making progress. So we have to discern who these people are or what these things are, because sometimes it's not a person. Sometimes it's an organization. Sometimes it's a habit that we have to get out of our community in order to be successful. Next, Kuumba. Kuumba is creativity. I know when Certain people think of Kuumba, they think of the arts. They're like, oh, it's the arts, oh, it's dancing and all of that. Yes, we're over here, we're gardening, we're doing all of this. I don't think of Kuumba as that, because I'm looking at the last couple of words, one of the last sentences in Kuumba. It is to do always as much as we can in the way we can in order to leave our community more beautiful and beneficial than we inherited it. When I look at this, I think of generational wealth. If you truly love your child, would you leave your child rags when you could have left them riches? Would you leave your child failure when you could have left them success? Would you leave your child trauma when you could have left them healing? Some people are so selfish, they don't care what they give the next generation. They literally don't care. They don't care. They're only out for themselves, and they don't care who they take down, as long as they get what they want to get. They might not even be thinking about their own children. Think about families that have generational wealth. The first generation usually started off, most of the time, very poor. Some of them had no money. And they saw in their mind's eye, my child is not going to suffer like I did. And they put in a lot of effort so that their child can have it easier. And then their child decides to do the same thing for their child. And then just keeps passing on and passing on and passing on the baton. But what are we passing on? Are we passing on the arts? Are we passing on money? Are we passing on land? Or are we passing on trauma? One way that we can be creative is to stop doing the same things that hurt us. We have to see things for what they are. I say this especially in regards to like race relations and different things. People be like, oh, we're going to have a meeting. Yeah, we're going to create this art so the people have a better understanding of such and such a thing, or where my perspective is coming from. Yeah, we have to have like these diversity meetings and these equity meetings. Yeah, we got to do that. Look, you've been doing this since what, like 1600s? What did I say, 1600s? I don't know, maybe 1700s. And the whole 20th century. You've had programs, you've had documentaries, you've had movies, and you've had books. You've had music, and you've had art. What more can you do to convince somebody of something they do not want to be convinced of? That's just insanity. You have to start thinking creatively for yourself, because after a while, people are not going to be tripping over you anymore. You have to empower yourself, so you won't have to care about what other people think, what other people's building, because you're too busy building for yourself. You're too busy focusing on loving yourself to even concentrate on these people who may or may not hate you. Think about it. We have to stop doing the same thing over and over and thinking it's going to get us different results. In some cases, you could do something repetitively or repeatedly and get a different result. But in this case, I just don't think so. You're only hurting yourself. You're creating trauma in your own community. You have to think about yourself now. You have to think about, what do you want the future to hold for your children? What can you do differently that you haven't done before? How is the world moving now? What is coming up in this world right now that you could utilize for the betterment of people of African descent? I don't know what that noise was. Anyway, probably the ghost of my ancestors. Last. Oh. I'm sorry. Okay. So one example of Kuumba, which, goes back to creativity, is this language called Tut. And it was created in the 18th century by enslaved blacks. And it was basically a secret code to teach you how to read. I don't know Tut, but there is a book written on Tut. There might be like 2 or 3 books written on Tut, maybe more. But I think it's very interesting. And if you're interested in learning more about it, you can look it up online. You could probably get a book. There is a black woman that wrote a book about Tut. I think her ancestors spoke Tut, but they created their own language, ingenuity. They didn't have to wait on anybody. I spoke about in Ujamaa how we could just stop buying collectively and bring down the economy. I mean, you have all these people doing Bitcoin and what do you call it, Dogecoin or Dogecoin, and all of these other coins. Why can't we create our own coin? There's enough of us. We could literally create a universal African coin and circulate it throughout the community. We wouldn't even have to buy from the American dollar or the euro or whatever. But that takes, organization. The last principle I wanted to focus on is Imani. I'm sorry if I'm yawning. I just had to get this off my chest. I really did. Imani. This is the only principle of the Nguzo Saba that I have an issue with. To believe with all our heart in our people, our parents, our teachers, our leaders, and the righteousness and victory of our struggle. Now, on the surface, this sounds very beautiful, but I just feel uncomfortable with the last lines, the very last line. And it is the righteousness and victory of our struggle. So now that I've gotten older, with maybe a little bit more wisdom, I'm not like that old. I'm actually very young, but I'm not like some naive 16-year-old or something that I was. But the struggle, I feel like this is saying have faith in a struggle, even though that's not what it's saying. I feel that's what it's implying. The righteousness and victory of our struggle. You know what? What if I don't want to believe in a struggle? What if I don't have faith in the struggle? I have faith in success. But if I have faith in a struggle, I'm going to keep struggling. Is that what my whole life is going to be? All my life I had to fight? Is that what my life is going to be? I don't want it to be that way. I want to be successful. Sometimes when I hear my people talk, sometimes, depending on where I go, especially if it's like a conscious person, it's like, you know what? We was kings. We were queens. Like you're speaking in past tense. I need to speak in current tense. You need to speak in, wait, did I say current tense? I'm sorry. I meant present tense. I am so sorry. You need to speak in present tense. Because if you keep speaking about what you were, that's all you're going to be is what you were. You're not going to be what you are now. You're going to be what you were. Now, to a certain point, which is Sankofa, go back and fetch it. Think about that, a Dinker symbol. It said go back. It didn't say go back and stay there. It said go back and fetch it. You bring it back here. You don't just stay there like you're living in a bar somewhere reminiscing on old times. No. And I feel like that's what Imani, the last line, embodies. I feel this should be rewritten. I feel this is the only principle that really should be rewritten because it keeps us in this stagnant state. I have faith that we are already successful. I have faith that my community is better. I have faith that we are rich. I have faith that we are unified and organized. I know that we are unified and organized. I know that we are rich, and I know that my neighborhood is healed, and I know that all the generational curses are broken. I already know that already. In fact, I'm living my best life. That's literally how we should be thinking right now as a collective. But no. sometimes we just speak death over ourselves. For example, some of these rappers, it was like, why? I was thinking recently, how many male rappers have been shot and killed? I wanted to ask somebody how many female rappers have been murdered. But you know, when you listen to like modern female rappers, and even those of like 90s, like it might be like, oh, I'm gonna beat you, I'm the baddest girl in town, I'm the hottest all around, I'm the best, I'm the MC. But then like the dudes would just be talking about, I'm gonna shoot you and I'm gonna kill you, and they trying to shoot me. I'm scared. I'm gonna drive by their house and shoot them, and they're trying to shoot at me, but they miss and all their bullets miss. I'm like, dude, you bringing death to you. You keep bringing death through your music. What are you doing? And that's why you're shot now. You just keep singing about it, and you keep bringing it to you. You keep bringing the bullets to you. I want to sing of a new day. I want to sing of doctors being born in the community. Sing about that. Sing tut. We have to have faith in ourselves, and we have to say it with 2 words: I know and I am. Or 2 phrases: I know and I am. I am a powerful Black person. I am wealthy. I am successful. I am an important part of my community. I know that my community is successful. I know that everything is solved. I know that we have all of these beautiful schools being built brick by brick. I know that people are coming to us for ideas and that we're circulating money there. I know this. I already know this. I don't believe in struggle. What struggle? I don't see struggle anywhere. What are you talking about? Drive-bys? What is that? I don't know what that is. We literally got to be that oblivious to struggle. Whatever. Shoot. Hold on. Flee from it. Flee from struggle. It'll flee from you. Don't even think about it. The more you focus on planning and knowing that it has come to pass and just let struggle, it doesn't have to be hard. I think we just make it hard because we call it struggle. If we just eliminate struggle from our vocabulary, it can be solved. In fact, it is already solved. You know why? Because we are the richest group globally. Think about it. That wasn't just a Martin Luther King speech. I'm just saying this from the top of my head. I don't even have statistics. I'm just looking at how we're buying. We are rich. We literally could turn all of this around in one day. And we are. And I believe it is so. So yeah. But now I wanted to end with why I feel like I'm going to take a very long break from Kwanzaa. I feel that I've grown to a point where I'm like, you know what? I think I have successfully understood the Nguzo Saba. I know that doesn't make any sense. It's like, well, if you understand it, why you stop celebrating it? I'm like, I don't need it anymore. The principles are now in my heart. I don't need a reminder. I will celebrate Kwanzaa with my action. I will celebrate the Nguzo Saba with my actions. I don't need 7 days out of December to January. I feel that it is a good step towards empowering the Black community, getting some type of identity and some type of pride. But if I already have that, I feel I should now focus on action. Because since I've had these principles in my mind for so long, I feel like I should do something. Like, I don't like talking about something every year and I'm not doing something about it. Now in the past I've done stuff like did my books, did my Kiswahili book, I did my Emmett Till book. But I want to do something bigger. I want to do some grander goal. And that's why I feel like I've outgrown Kwanzaa, but it's necessary to get us on the right track. Because you can't go to college without kindergarten. You're always going to be going back to kindergarten. You're always going to be going back to the start. Sankofa. Go back and fetch it. So yes, that is all I have to say in this video. I hope you all have a happy and prosperous Kwanzaa. May you live the Nguzo Saba 365 years. This is 366. Next year, a leap year. 366 days of the year next year. And I will talk to you all possibly next year with another video. So long, everyone.